Welcome into the maiden voyage of the Bucknuts Morning 5. I am editor Dave Biddle, joined by publisher Dan Rubin. We're going to have a podcast for you every morning, Monday through Friday, to make sure you're getting your day started the proper way as a Buckeye fan. We're going to be taking a quick look at what we'll be talking about on the site that particular day. We'll be looking back at what happened maybe the previous day, and unfortunately what happened the previous day is a loss to Iowa in basketball, Dan. Buckeyes were favored by 6.5, and this is a good Iowa team, but still coming off a loss to Michigan State. The Buckeyes really played poorly down the stretch against Iowa, and Iowa, took them to the cleaners there. Won by 10 points, 84-74, and I still think this Buckeye team is going to be okay. I think they were overranked. I think they're more of a Sweet 16 team, but I don't look for them to fall off the map by any stretch. I think they're going to be able to recover, but still a tough loss for the team yesterday.
No question. Disturbing, especially because they were coming off the loss to Michigan State. You'd like to see them respond a little better. Iowa is a good team. I talked to Sam Thompson before the year about contenders in the Big Ten. He brought them up. I didn't. So Fred McCaffrey's got a little something going there. He's invested in some young players, and it's coming true for him earlier than expected, I guess. But like I said, the fact that it was at home, I think, is a little troubling.
And switching gears to football, the number one topic in Buckeye Nation right now is the fact that half of the defensive coaching positions at Ohio State are open, and including what I think will be the new defensive coordinator at Ohio State. I think we'll never hear the words demotion as it relates to Luke Fickell, but I think he'll go back to being the linebackers coach. He might have a fancy title like assistant head coach, but I think one of the two new hires by Urban Meyer will be the new defensive coordinator, the guy who will be calling the shots. And I wish I had a name to give people, and I don't. I don't have a name. I think it's going to be a lot like Tom Herman, somebody that comes out of nowhere that nobody was expecting. But I do think we're going to hear something very quickly. I've been saying it'll be before the dead period ends. However, that's 2 days away. I'm going to have to back that up a little bit. January 15th is what I've been saying. I will say sometime this week, though. I think Urban Meyer will have his two new coaches in place by the end of this week. I'd be surprised if he didn't, Dan, with National Signing Day fast approaching. So I look for him to hire a safeties coach. I look for him to hire a defensive coordinator by the end of this week. I
hope you're right. It sounds like every day all I'm reading is about other schools adding and switching and getting their staff set up. We've talked about this. All I care is he hires a defensive coordinator who can bring some kind of identity to the defense. I think that was the problem this year. I think there was just kind of a lack of identity. I think everyone would like to see someone who brings in a more aggressive attacking scheme. You mentioned Tom Herman. I'd love to see him get some kind of young wonder kind Tom Herman of the defense.
And switching gears to recruiting, every year we say, a guy or two is going to pop up out of nowhere. And, nobody, not even on the Dean of Ohio State's football recruiting's radar, Bill Kurlick, someone's going to pop out of nowhere. Hello, Brady Taylor. Yep. And the Buckeyes offer Brady Taylor, the offensive tackle from Columbus Bishop Reedy, and he's a commitment to Virginia Tech, 6'5", 276. He will visit Ohio State this coming weekend. He will give the Hokies a final chance. He's going to visit Virginia Tech last the weekend after that. But it sounds like from everything he's been telling Steve Wiltfong and our other staff members, it sounds like he's going to flip. He's already kind of mentally preparing himself to break the news to Virginia Tech's coaches, it sounds like. But, Columbus kid recruiting for the Buckeyes. It sounds to me like he will be the fifth offensive lineman in Ohio State's 2014 recruiting class, Dan.
Agreed completely. Check out the front page of Bucknuts right now because you'll see multiple crystal balls flipping their Brady Taylor to Ohio State vibe going. Very cool that next weekend he'll also be taking an official visit with a guy named Derek Noddy, a defensive tackle out of the Virginia area who's supposed to go to Virginia Tech. So the idea that you got two Virginia Tech flavored kids visiting next weekend, hopefully that can end up in two commitments for the Buckeyes.
And the Buckeyes next season, second week, they play none other than?
No doubt,
Virginia
no doubt.
Tech.
Dave, I wanted to mention definitely today, for those of you who missed Bax, he did not write on Friday. Mr. Baxendale will be writing for today, so be watching your monitor, people. Bax is coming up on Bucknuts here in the next few hours.
And one more quick thing, if you're not a Bucknuts subscriber, now's a great time to try our 7-day free trial, upper right-hand portion of your screen. Click the subscribe link, try our 7-day free trial, and see everything you've been missing at Bucknuts.com. If you have any questions for Dan and I, hop on the front row. We'll be there all day. Hey, not bad for a maiden voyage, Dan.
Not too bad at all.